This is a story of the Ajeeb Helmet.
तेरी बातों को सुन कर मेरा दिल भरा गया पर खड़ा हूँ इस नींद से उठा क्यों खड़ा हूँ.
So you're probably wondering, why do I not have the helmet with me? And the reason is because I recently moved to the beautiful city of Waterford Island. So when I was packing my luggage, I only had like 25 kgs with me. So I had to choose between necessities and a piece of art that I made. And I chose necessities because this piece of art is pretty big and chunky. So I thought might as well I can leave it. But this doesn't stop me making a video about it. It all started with the desire to have my work being displayed in an art gallery. The first time was with my university to show in a typography show, and I had like a digital print over there. And once I came to Karachi, my initial body of work was very digital. So either I was doing like video art, projection stuff, or digital prints that I would frame up and put them in the gallery. So one thing I realized after being part of a few gallery shows in Karachi, that people don't really appreciate digital artworks as much as they appreciate like fine art pieces or these paintings or sketches. And even when you price them, the value of fine art pieces are much more than the digital prints, because people look at digital prints as like, oh, it's just printed on a paper. And on the other hand, they look at a painting and they feel like, oh, this is a piece of an art that they spend so much time making. So I did a couple of shows and I realized that I really want to make money from this because I love making art, and if I make money from it, it's like a win-win situation. So I decided, you know what, how about I experiment with maybe having like fancier frames. I tried doing fancier frames on my prints. It looked better, but it still didn't achieve the purpose that I wanted to do. And then I realized what the best thing that I can do right now is just experiment with different mediums. So I had to figure out like a interesting blend where I can put myself along these fine artists yet also have my own Ajeeb identity to itself. And I realized that I was doing a lot of fashion stuff, which you can see in the previous video. And I thought, what if I took all of the work that I do with laces and kind of translate that with my digital work and have it as a frame. So the first piece that I made was Aaj Bazaar Mein. I took a piece of canvas and I used glue to actually stick different pieces of laces that I usually use in my denims. And once I did that, I framed it. I placed a glass on top of it, and on the glass I actually added a layer of this typography that I did, which said Aaj Bazaar Mein. And once I framed it, that piece itself felt like this is a beautiful blend of both the things, like my digital work and my work which I do with physical products. And this gave an opportunity to explore in this direction, and I made this mirror, and then I made this another cityscape where I got the buildings painted. Like me, Farzan and Ahmed, we were in the studio and we were just finalizing all of these things, and there was so much work and there was a gallery show coming up. I realized that we just had like one piece left. And I had a few concepts where
ye go gaya, ye go gaya, ye go. Sing it.
But the thing was that we really couldn't crack it, and also we didn't have much time. And I remember we just decided that what if we just have a helmet which is wrapped up in laces? And it sounded so funny and beautiful. So we were like, maybe we can try it. And that's what we did. Farzan got a helmet the next day and we just tried sticking up these laces. We made like a few prototypes and then we realized, okay, this is something that's absolutely amazing. And that's how the Ajeeb helmet came to life. So all of these frames and these two helmets were part of a show that I was displaying my work at, and the name of the show was You Don't Belong Here, and it was curated by Safiya Mahmood. So the response at the gallery show was amazing, and I realized that people wanted to try and wear the helmet, which made me realize that it's an art piece that people can interact with. We sold one of the paintings and a helmet. So in April, I got to know that I'm moving to Ireland in July. And I decided that I will do a design festival because I have been thinking about a design festival in Karachi at least for a year or two, and I didn't really have the time or the resources to do it. So once we made the decision that, okay, we are doing a design festival, we had like almost like 4 to 5 weeks. and we didn't have anything. We just had like the location logged in, which was neutral. Other than that, we had nothing. So we were designing things as we were going. We were just talking, me, Mariam and Maham. We realized, you know what, we can just have a character which Mariam made for a different project that we didn't use, and that became our mascot. Once we had that for the digital things, I remember, of course, we had to make so much content around it and everything. And Maham had one of the Ajeeb helmets because I had a show in Lahore and she picked it up for me because no one bought it over there. And we started using that as like our mascot for like making content and like fun videos. The helmet itself became such a big part of the Ajeeb universe. Eventually people started to see the helmet as a representation of Ajeeb rather than just a artwork in an art gallery. So at Ajeeb Design Fest, we had this room which was supposed to be an art jam room where one instructor would be there and either everyone's going to be animating, illustrating, or doing just some art activity together. And we decided, how about we just do a helmet making workshop? So the whole idea was to give them all of the laces, all of the helmets, and explain them how we make the helmet, and it was up to them to create their own version of it. And it was amazing to see different versions of the same helmet come out where you created something and now it is for people to create on top of. To find the Ajeeb helmet, it was just a process of making things and making them for 4 or 5 years to discover something like the Ajeeb helmet. And I don't know what will I discover next year or the year after. And I think that's the main part that I enjoy about creating, because I know there's something in the future that I will unlock which is going to be greater than what I've made until now.